everything. Look at that.
You look stunning, mate. Stunning.
I know, right?
That's my best side. So.
I'll stop. Isn't it? Just
this gets put on YouTube, mate. So you can do whatever you want.
I know.
Very good point,
that's why I shaved. I didn't want to look like a complete tramp. So,
but it's COVID time, so I thought you would have gone for the whole thing regardless.
To be fair, I was going to, and I'm doing a new thing at the minute where like it's shorter than it has been, and I haven't done this like this for a while. I don't know what that is. Just gestures, but yeah. So this is what, neat. Anyway, sorry. Continue on.
Well, you look
intro.
All good.
Thank you very much.
Right, are we ready? And I'll do my intro.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Ladies and gents, every now and again, we like to showcase our very talented friends, and today is one of those days. Today's guest has one of the greatest voices you're going to hear. A voice that makes you go, whoa, where the fuck did that come from? He's a guitar player, a drummer, a singer, a podcaster, a rump shaker, and a party maker. Welcome to USUK Chronicles, Mr. Joe Green.
Hello. That is an intro.
See, I'm good at these intros.
I know. Very good. All true as well. All true. I am a rump shaker. I was hoping that would come up at some point. We'll drill down on that later on, hopefully. But yeah, thank you very much for having me.
When Jamie writes his intros, he never neglects the balls. So.
No.
Generous.
Never.
I've read that. Just all of it. Yeah, it's all
there. Doesn't neglect a thing. Exactly. Not a single inch.
Not an inch untouched.
Nope.
Exactly. Thorough.
All my Yelp reviews say it as well.
That's where I read it. It was on Yelp.
There you go.
Yelp. Triple X. No, anyway, sorry.
That's all right, man. It's all good. So, Joe, man, how was your 2020?
Oh, mate. God. Well, it happened. It definitely was 2020. Yeah, I think like everyone, it was majority shit. Yeah. But there were some good bits. Managed to get a couple of more gigs out than I thought we were physically going to do as Death as a Girl. And I bought a lot of really cool fucking shirts. So nice. Peaks and troughs, you know.
But I mean, other than buying wonderful shirts and managing to play some gigs, did you teach yourself anything that you wouldn't have taught yourself? Like, did you learn Italian or?
No, I was basically working the whole time. I had the first initial bit of furlough off because unfortunately I'm not a party maker by trade, or a musician by trade. I have to have a normal muggle job. But I like being a muggle, it's good. Keeps you grounded, keeps you grounded. But yeah, so I worked. I had like the first initial 3 weeks of furlough, or when they, did the first lockdown off. And I've been back in the whole time, just cussing every motherfucker out that's been on furlough. No.
That's right, bring it. Come on.
I know, yeah, because are you back yet, or are you still on furlough as well?
10 months straight now, dude. 10 months straight.
Live the dream. I say cuss you. I've been cussing you out and quietly proud of everyone that's been managing to like not go back. Because didn't you go back for did you go back for the induction?
I went back for a training day, and then they were like, "Nope," and I was like, "Cool, no worries."
This is the job that you're gonna do when we decide to bring you back. If we decide to bring you back at all, like they will because they have to. But yeah, when and if we decide, that's mate, fair play, do it, get it, girl, get it. Trust me. I can't. If I could have done it, I fucking would have done. But
what do you want to swap?
You can have like a month. Yeah, if you just go and work, if you do be me for a month, at work, I could easily take. I only want 3 weeks. I don't even want 2 months. I just need 3 weeks, just a 3-week little break, get a little bit bored of being off and or just not have to get up at the crack of dawn for 3. I could just book some time off really, couldn't I?
I mean, yeah. But I mean, don't waste it.
That's how. Well, exactly.
Don't waste it.
Rinsing holiday. Anyway, we digress instantly.
That's just the whole point. This is what I love about it. So it's all good. We could fucking start talking about Barbie if you really want.
I don't have any Barbies anymore. I did own a Barbie once.
Did you?
When I was really young, like before I was 10. I think I was about like 7.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, I'm a massive toy collector anyway. I've still got all my toys from when I was like 7.
Dude, that's amazing.
So but yeah, I bought a Barbie because she had really long hair and the sluttiest skirt. Even at 7, he was on it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my mum bought it for me I remember getting it as well from Argos. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Many moves. I haven't still got that. That got binned.
Oh.
Yes, but yeah, I know. I did have that's why have I put that on there. Now, just the world
knows.
There,
dude. Yeah.
You had a fucking Barbie, Annie. Ah! Can't live that down. Own it. Yeah, owned a Barbie. I'd get a Barbie. I'd own a Barbie now. Why not? Fuck it.
Well, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly.
It's just taking an odd turn.
I love it. Joe, this is beautiful. This is exactly why I wanted you on here, because I knew that this sort of shit would come out.
Just horrible, horrible bits of the past. No, they're not horrible. What's wrong with having a Barbie? I think you should encourage children to play with dolls and action figures at the same time. You know.
I totally agree with you. I'm not knocking you at all. I was just not expecting that answer. I was only making a joke.
Yeah. No. Yep. Had a Barbie. Would get one again.
We'll get one again when the shop's open.
I might. Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, we don't have Barbies, but my girlfriend is obsessed with BTS, so we do have BTS dolls in the house. And I've bought most of them for her. So does that count? I don't know if that counts.
I think in this instance, yes.
Do they have the sluttiest of skirts?
No, they've got the coolest of suits though.
Okay.
Like, have you ever looked at a toy and been like, I'd wear that? It's exactly like that. That's exactly what it's like. Like, because there's 7 of them. Are you BTS fans, gent?
There's 7. I thought it was 5 of them.
No, there's 7 BTS weird androgynous doll men.
I've heard of them. I don't know what they are.
Well, I've got them living in my house. They look exactly the same. No, they don't. They're really, they're massive. They're huge in Korea. They're like, well, they're just massive. They're just, they're like an actual, they like provide for the economy for Korea. That's how massive they are.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's insane.
But
amazing. Anyway,
we should probably ask you some questions, shouldn't we?
Yeah. So music, you say?
Yes. So take us back, sir. It's clear you obviously have a major passion for music. Where did that come from? Is it from parents to someone, whatever?
Well, my dad was a drummer, so he kind of got me on the kit real young. It was what I would do to pass the time. Just gonna put that on silent. Excuse me. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
No, good. Okay. I got a message, didn't I? Popular. Oh, now I've disappeared. Popular, but not talented when it comes to the tech. Wagwan. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So, So I started when I was on a kit when I was 5, but I didn't really get into music properly till I was like 11. Like, secondary school was when it was like, oh, well, this is worth doing full time.
Yeah.
There was a kid called Craig Priest. He was like my best friend at school, and he started learning guitar, and he introduced me to just the world of guitars and rock music and bands and all that jazz. So it was all his fault. It's all Craig Priest's fault, basically. But
nice, man.
So yes, we had a band in like year 12. No, not year 12. Sorry, at age 12, year 8. And then obviously I've just wanted to be, and I'm in bands ever since, really.
So when you were a child and stuff, then what music did you listen to? What influenced you?
Like really early on, I was just listening to what my parents listened to, which was like loads of reggae, which is fine, if that's your bag. But and then, as I say, I got into secondary school, and it was just rock music. I think I've said it before, and I will say it again. I think as a rebellion to all the reggae, the fact that it was just completely opposite.
Yeah,
I think this was the instant appeal. And yeah, I just fell in, like, and like we didn't have MTV2 at the time. This would have been like, do you remember VH1?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We're talking like VH1, so it'd be like the Friday Night Rock Show every Friday with Tommy Vance. I was just like glued to the TV for 2 hours. I'd have to try and stay up because I was still quite young. And yeah, 12 till 2. I'd try and watch the whole thing. I think I did it like maybe once or twice. Like actually got from 12 till 2. But that was the first time I saw Korn and like Living Colour and Slipknot. And yeah, it was just amazing. Like this whole world just opening up. I remember the first time I saw Korn and Slipknot, because like at the time our family were witnesses. So it was like, oh my God, it shouldn't really be. Oh, it's all occult and illegal. Oh. So there was that appeal as well. The fact that I shouldn't have been. It was completely taboo. But yeah, I fucking loved it.
Nice, man. That's so awesome. Can you not listen to reggae music anymore now? Does it make you
no, you know what? I had a massive, for ages, I denied it. I was like, reggae. And obviously, because of...
Yeah.
People just assume it's what I do. So when you're like, oh yeah, you play music, do you? Oh, reggae mong, is it? Reggae? On a reggae jams, is it? And I'm like, no, I play rock music, chap. Show that. Usually the response. So for ages, it was like, no, that isn't what I do. But the last 2 years or so, I've kind of reconnected with it. And I mean, I've always quietly loved Bob Marley, but just never told anyone until now.
Yeah.
Now,
exclusive.
Yeah, I've always. He's amazing. Obviously, like all of the early stuff though. None of the like Exodus and Catch a Fire. Those 2 albums, the only 2 albums I actually give a shit about because they were political. None of the poppy stuff. None of the popular stuff.
The mainstream stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, none of that. The political stuff. And I've also just rekindled a love for Burning Spear as well. He's just really cool, and again like uses like flutes and stuff, and there's a jazz element to his sound that I'm loving at the moment. And also he's really weird. Like he does these little dance moves when he's like when you see him live, and I'm all about the crazy dance moves when you're amazing. Like yeah, and he plays percussion as well. He's just an interesting guy as well. He's like yeah, very interesting.
I've never really given reggae like the time of day sort of thing. I should probably investigate it more because I know the Marley.
You've got a. Sorry, go on.
Haven't his sons now ventured into the mainstream sort of thing as well? Ziggy and Damien.
All 57 of his sons. Yeah. There's only 9. There's only 9. 9 kids in general. Yeah, so like Stephen Marley and Damian Marley, but it's very different. Like the Damian Marley stuff is more like dub, which is a vibe. I mean, there's a minute. I've got time for dub as well sometimes. Like Yellow Man, that's a quiet passion of mine as well. Do you know who Yellow Man is?
Nope.
It's like a proper old school. They used to call it toasting. It's called dub now though. But it's just, yeah, it's awesome. You'd love it actually. Like. You know how we're keen body rollers.
We are, yes.
It's proper body rolling music, but like from the late 70s. Yeah, it's awesome. Yellow Man, you should check it out. Have you ever seen the episode? Are you New Girl fans?
No,
sorry, dude.
No, but there's an episode of New Girl where like Nick it's called Naked. He's ashamed of his body. And to like psych himself up, he puts Yellow Man on and starts dancing around his room. I literally watched it a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "What the fuck, Yellow Man on New Girl? Fuck off!" But yeah, it was a thing. So yeah, they're on. They know what they're doing. So yeah, check out Yellow Man.
Okay.
So it's good.
Go on, Jamie.
I was gonna say, what came first to you then? Playing like I said, professionally wise, was it drums, guitar, singing? What was your first like passion for playing music?
I suppose it was guitar professionally. I was in like my first real band I was on guitar, which was a band called Checkpoint Charlie. Ooh. Which would then become Divine Secret. So Checkpoint Charlie was like my first real band where we would like do actual rehearsals and stuff. and like do real gigs. And then out of that, that's where I met the drummer, Ben Newham, who obviously we all know. Out of that, he and I branched off to make Divine Secret. And then midway through Divine Secret, I was at college. And I was drumming at the time anyway, but just as for fun.
Okay.
Yep, just for fun. There we go. And then I joined the Mies, like kind of halfway, I guess in like the third year of Divine Secret being a thing. So professionally, it would be guitar into drums. And then there was a period when I was just drumming in like, I think like 2011, Divine Secret had stopped. And I was just drumming for like 2 years. And then Empire turned up.
So before we start going through the back catalogue of bands that you've been in,
okay.
One question I do have is, how did you realise that you had that set of fucking pipes on you? Did you just wake up one morning like, oh fuck,
okay.
What is this?
No. I don't know. I still don't think I'm that great, to be honest. I think you're all having me on. I mean,
fuck off to start with.
Yeah, babe. I don't know. It was just, I think it came from listening to I listened to a lot of female singers initially, and then I got into Incubus, and Brandon Boyd just changed it all, really. I mean, like I was obsessed with like the Morning View sessions. Have you ever seen that? It was like a live DVD they did for Morning View. And yeah, I recorded it off of MTV2 onto VHS, and I would literally like it was how I would start the day before I would go to school. It was it was him. And then from him, Liam Creamer, who was a singer from a band called This Girl. And then just but I would say it's mainly to do with, I would reckon it's because of the females first, because they're much higher and their register is obviously higher.
Yeah,
like that's probably what it's their fault. It's the girls' fault, essentially. I'm just going to blame the chicas. I mean the women. Sorry.
I love that. I've never heard that before. A male vocalist turn around and go, "I'm inspired by female singers. That's where I found my range."
Massively
That's
so.
wicked.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, there you go. But they're just the best. I mean, Skin from Skunk Anansie, for example. She was like. When I discovered her, it was just like, well, this is who I will be when I grow up. But, with a willy.
And more hair.
Yeah, and more hair. But yeah, I was, again, so it was like Brandon Boyd, then Skin, and then just kind of amalgamating the two. And then Glassjaw and like Daryl Palumbo. And then I found I was just attracted to singers who could sing really high. That were men as well. That's do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense.
And then Jeff Buckley turned up, and I was like, "Well, oh good lord." But it was weird because, like, I mean, singing wasn't even supposed to really happen. I only did it in Divine Secret because no one else would do it. And then, as they say, at that time, I was listening to like Incubus and Skunk Anansie and all that jazz, which heavily influenced our sound. And then, but whilst we were doing that, and I was thinking we sound like them, people were like, "Oh, you sound like Jeff Buckley." And at the time, I didn't even know who he was. So I didn't get into him until maybe like, I don't know, like 5 years into Divine Secret. And even then I was like, "No, he's all right." But now I'm just obsessed with him. Like he's just amazing. Like Grace is one of the best albums of all time. Like, yeah, it's really depressing, and it's ideal if you're in a breakup. So, yeah, and I've been in a few breakups, so always come back round to Jeff Buckley, Grace.
I've never listened to him, ever.
Mate, it's amazing. You love him. You'd love him.
I'm going to get on it. I think I'm going to get on it.
You're an emotional guy. He was like
Mate, you wouldn't believe.
He was like a really sophisticated emo. Like, he'd drink red wine. Oh. And like he'd have I think he didn't have a small side fringe. He had like quite kind of, it was like, I don't know, like
Bob.
Yeah, but it was like all curly. It was just amazing. He's just an amazing dude. And he's one of those guys that the more you get into him, the more you realize how amazing he is. So,
right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to invest. So start with Grace, yeah?
Yeah, great. Well, that's that's the only real album he did, because he's in the 27 Club. He died at 27.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I think he went out. I think they were in France, maybe, I don't know. And he went out to the sea to have a swim in the sea, and he never came back.
Fuck.
Just washed out. Apparently, he was drunk, possibly, and maybe on other,
On candy.
Yeah, other fun bits.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the story.
Shit, man.
For a swim, never came back. Like Richie Doodad from like the Manic. That's what happened to him. He was like, "I'm going swimming, lad. See you later," and then he never came back.
Fuck's sake.
I assume that's how it went.
So, did you study music or get vocal training, or is this just like?
No, I never.
This is me.
No. I did music tech, and I obviously did music for GCSE. I wasn't good enough for A level, babe. It was not happening. Yeah, but music tech, and GCSE. But yeah, I love playing. It's like it's a therapy for me. I know that's what everyone says, but it's true. I get really weird as you can probably tell, because I haven't played for fucking ages. After seriously though, I get really, really moody and antsy and what's the point? So yeah, it's a definite therapy for me. So that's why I do it.
Hopefully they'll stop fucking vaccinating, won't they? Hopefully getting out there.
I just need them to open the studios up again so I can rehearse with my band. I mean, obviously I want to gig and stuff, but I just miss playing with my mates at this point.
Man. So, so Divine Secret was obviously the first band that you realistically. Do you remember the gig we played?
No.
So I played in a band called Shake It Bravos.
Oh my god! So did I.
Yeah, because I think you went first. Because I ended up being a singer for a while. I mean,
Okay.
not great at all. But
what lineup was this then?
me, Jack Coltman, John Spores, and Tom something or other. It is that big fuck off house.
Tom Walker? Is it Tom Walker?
Oh, his last name escapes me. But we played a show in 2006. We sold the pigs out. And
amazing.
I thought it'd be hilarious to put. I said that we were going to play last, and then went, actually, no, I'm actually not going to. So our name got put at the top of the thing, because I remember Ben kicking off about it. I just did it, so I just wanted our name at the top of the ticket. I don't give a shit about when we played.
Yeah, that's clever. I see what you've done there. That's good.
And then Chip was
I don't remember. There was so many gigs at the Pigs. Yeah, I've probably got that's probably on a poster somewhere. I used to have a massive A2, I think it's A2, I don't know. But the big one that you'd find on outside somewhere. One of those illegal paste job ones. I think with us on it. It might even have been that gig. That's mad. That is so crazy.
Fun. I remember
2006.
Your favourite House Atlantic cover was fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible.
That was the thing. Coheed had turned up at this point, and obviously changed our lives. See, guys who want to sound like girls again.
Claudio Sanchez, yeah.
Bang! Oh, mate. Yeah, we just seen him as well that year, because that was the first year we'd gone to Download. So,
okay.
It was the second time I'd seen Coheed, because the first time was at the first Give It a Name. That's how we were introduced to them. Yeah. Which was I think 2 years prior. But yeah, the Pigs was for pretty much how Divine Secret, even if it wasn't for the Pigs, Divine Secret would never have gotten off the ground.
Okay. Is that where you met Ben?
No, I met Ben at school. He and I went to school together.
Okay.
We were in music, and we both failed DT together. We both got U's before it was even time for exams.
That's impressive.
The teacher was a Nazi, so that's pretty much. She was vile. She was horrible. And she was like, "You guys are crap. I'm not even going to put you in for the exam. There's no point." What? So we were like, cool. So we used to spend every DT lesson just up in the library, Or if we could try and blag a music room, we try and have try and jam and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
fuck that teacher.
I think she's still alive. Hopefully not.
Well,
no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
If she is still alive, she could get in the fucking bin.
She did us a favour though, because DT's like, we can, exactly. I can't even. Don't even have to go into it. That's how unimportant it is.
Amazing.
Anyway, sorry. We continue on.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, the pigs. The pigs was did our first gig there, and then I was working with a promotions company called The Faction, who used to put gigs on there every week.
Yeah.
And any band that couldn't turn up, I'd be like, oh, we can do it. So that's how we ended up gigging so much at the pigs, and that's how we basically cut our teeth. So if it wasn't for the pigs, Secret would probably have never really done anything.
And that's why obviously you got off the ground, because then obviously you said you met the guys in Me's whilst at college.
Yeah, well, I met them at college. Yeah, so finished school, went to Glosscat or Glosscol, I think if it's even still open, is known now, and did music media first because my grades weren't high enough to do music tech. And then that's where I met Vic in music media.
Oh yeah.
He tells the story way better than I do, but apparently the first thing I said to him was, we all had to, you have to take photo IDs, so
yes.
College ID. Apparently he reckons the first thing I said to him was like, "This is me," exactly like that. That's what he reckons. I don't remember doing it, but
But let's be honest, that is something you would probably do.
It sounds like me. It's definitely in my register, especially at the time as well. But
play my band, mate. Just from that.
Well, yeah, he was like, "Our drummer's disappeared. Do you want to come and do it?" And that's when at the time, so I'd been a massive devout nu metal and metal and nothing indie. I wasn't interested in shoegaze or bands of that ilk. And then I got into Foals, and just as I was getting into Foals is how he is when he asked me to come and play with him. So the timing was perfect because he was into all that kind of stuff. And that's how the Mies came to be a thing. Before that, it was called the Mies, it was called Makembe though. And we did one gig, and then the bassist left. And so I'd also, whilst at college, met a kid called Joe Dark, or Soul Method as he's known now, who's an amazing, he used to MC, and now he's a real good D&B producer. And he wanted to start a fusion band. So amidst all the rock and stuff, I just started getting into Jill Scott and New Soul and all that kind of stuff. More so for drumming. And yeah, so he was like, "Oh, I want to start this fusion band." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, sweet, okay, I'll drum for that." And that's how I met Voss, as Alex Voss, who would then go on to play bass for the Mies and plays bass for me in Death as a Girl. He knew him from school, and me and Voss's first meet was awesome. It was we were in one of the music rooms for college, and Joe was like, "Oh, this is Voss," and we basically had to make a Cubase track for the lesson, and I played bass on it, and I was like, "Can you play this bass line?" And he didn't I think he hit it for about 5 seconds, and he was like, and he just literally boom, straight in, no fast. The cut, I was like, "This kid's a fucking genius. Oh my god." So I was hooked. I was a Voss fan from then. And yeah, so that's how Voss. So when our bassist for Makembe left, he was the first. I was like, "We need to get Voss. Let's get Voss in." And Voss did we had a gig our first gig with Voss was in Mole's Club in Bath, which was, and I think he had a week to learn 8 songs, and he did it. He came one rehearsal and then straight to the gig, and he smashed it. It was amazing. He's an absolute boss, man. Alex Voss is one of the best musicians this town has got to offer. Seriously, that's why when I was putting Death together, he was before I'd even finished the EP, I was like, if I can get this live off the ground, Voss is going to be on bass or on guitar. So yeah, he's one of my like absolute straight go-to musicians because he's just incredible. Like, hands down, he doesn't. He's just a genius. So is Vic though. Vic's a fucking genius as well. Like as a poet and as a lyricist and stuff. So
that's
yeah,
absolutely amazing, man. So the Me's are based off like indie tunes, like indie like influences.
Yeah, Vic used to be real. Was a very angry, or is. Well, no, he was. He's not that angry these days. But like, massively influenced by Nirvana and like the whole alt scene, and yeah, was very angry, and like, I don't know. He would just write these amazing poems and stuff, and then bring them to rehearsals. Like even now, like with Cupcake Diaz and stuff, which is kind of his brainchild, really. There's just a chemistry between the three of us. Like he would bring the chords, or he brings the chords and the lyrics, and then especially for the Me's, we would just literally just make it up. So like, I listened back to the KISSING EP and just think, like, because that was like the real release we did like back in 2010. And just to think how those songs came together, like they've managed to stand the test of time massively. So Damo dropped one last Saturday on his Twitch. He dropped a song called That Girl.
Yeah.
And like, it's nuts to think that I'm a part of it, but it's just like, that's such a banger. Like, oh my God, that kid, Vic Pountney, what a G. And I was fortunate enough to be in a room with him and be able to share that like creative process with him. But as I say, it's always been such an organic thing. Like he'll bring his bit and then we just all somehow instantly just manage to like connect the puzzle like straight away. Yeah, it's magic.
It's beautiful.
So I love playing with them. Yeah, it is. It's incredible. I love it. I love it greatly. So yeah. Where were we? So yeah, that was the beginning bit, and then so Divine Secret was like 7 years of graft. We did our last show in 2011, so it was 10 years this year. And then like the year before was when I met the Stev from Empire.
Oh yes, the juicy goodness.
Yeah, when shit got real, son. Got real. Yeah, so that whole thing came about by like mad accident as well, though. So his girlfriend is someone that we used to knock about with at the Pigs, Michelle Midwinter.
Michelle, yeah.
Yeah, she used to do photography and stuff. So we knew her, and I think he just finished his band, Casino Drive, which had done like they were Bristol based and were like doing real well. And then I don't know what happened, but somehow it kind of fills it out, I guess. So him and the guitarist Dave decided that they were going to do this new band, and just kind of like cherry picked everyone. So they got Tupper in, who was the drummer, John Tupper, who was amazing, like little mini Travis Barker. And then they actually got Matt Mead, who would become the actual bassist, but Matt Mead dropped out and it was replaced by, do you know a band called Go to the Avalanche?
I've heard
a proper like thrashy two-piece from Trowbridge. No, from Froome. So Nick Wilton was the bassist when I turned up. And then obviously he asked me if I would. I actually said no. First of all, I went and saw what they were doing. And I was like, nah. And then a year, like Divine Secret was finishing, and I was like, yeah, go on then, fuck it. So then I went down, and this is what I mean. So the first time I went, Matt Mead was there, and then the second time I went, Nick Wilton was there. And from Nick Wilton being there is when I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and it was like kind of beginnings of what would become Where the World Begins. So like My Colour Optimistic was one of the tunes that was being kind of started. And then I think that was the only one that made it onto the good EP. But yeah, that's how that band kind of happened. They just kind of asked me to do it.
And all of a sudden, everything just went nuts.
And then we did it. And then, we did like 2 EPs and like kind of like did a little bit of graft. And then we went and recorded the real EP, which had 8 tracks, which had Black Hearts on it. So before the 2 EPs, I think I've got it somewhere. I can't remember exactly what the trial listing was, but that was it. So we'd done, what's that song called again? It's got like the whole, I can't remember the bloody lyrics to my own song. How terrible is that? Hold on. Bear with me, caller. It's been so long since I've had to talk about them. That's how bad it is.
All the Rage?
Yes, that's the fucker. That is the one, yeah. So All the Rage and My Colour Optimistic were actually like the first 2 songs we recorded. So that actually ended up on 2 EPs. And then they'd written everything else. And I'd brought Black Hearts to the table, or what would become Black Hearts anyway. Yeah, so because I hadn't written anything for ages. So I was like, hey, I've got this song. It goes like this. And they learnt it, and it would become Black Hearts. And then, so we recorded that, and then the Where the War Begins EP. And then they were like, let's drop that first. I couldn't believe they dropped Black Hearts first. I was like, there's no way. It should definitely have been My Colour Optimistic, but it was Black Hearts. And then everything went a bit mental.
Yeah, because that's... Like, everyone was just loving it. 40,000 views on YouTube, I've noticed.
I know. Like, what the fuck is that about?
That's mad.
It was weird, though, because, like, some people, as for all the people that were like, oh, this is it, man. This is the new sound. Rah, 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 rah. There were, like, at least 10 people who were like, I don't know, black and white video, though. But, yeah, it was crazy. It was the EP that kind of, it was that EP that kind of made everything go crazy, and we were like featured in, I think, most of the like UK musical magazine press. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Do you know how that took off though? Was it a certain person got ears to it and spread the word, or was it just, I don't know, we just woke up one day and everyone was like, this song? Our manager at the time was a guy called Russ North, and he used to work for Fender, and I think he just put it in front of the right people. And I think people were keen, like they kind of trusted him because he was an A&R for Fender. So he used to work with like Biffy and Atlantic. And so he was like, he had a credibility that I think people trusted. And I think, I don't know, I think it just kind of, it was fresh and it was new, and there wasn't many people doing, it was, I don't think there was anyone kind of doing that whole of like melodic, almost metal sound thing going on, other than like Alter Bridge and stuff. So especially in the UK. So I think, yeah, we came out at the right time. So I think it was a combination of Russ and then having a good song. I mean, that EP still stands up. Like it is like 8 bangers, to be fair.
It's so good.
Like I can say that now because we're not a band anymore. But yeah, like by comparison, like you can, I don't know, I kind of compare it to the album. You can just hear like, and knowing how it all came together as well, like there's just a fluidity to that whole EP that I think, yeah, you could like almost hear how hungry we were, just to make an absolute, but also like how chilled, and it was quite again, coming back to being all natural and chemistry and organic and everything. There was a natural organicness to those songs because they lived for a while. And we'd lived with them for a while and like played them live a lot more. So I think that helped when it came to recording them again, you know, and also being able to talk about them and continue playing them. So yeah, good times. 2013 to 15, the golden years.
Was it fun making music videos?
No, it was fucking awful. I hated it.
Really? Why?
It's a lot of prancing around and like pretending, like it's really hard. Like the Black Hearts video, for example, was like, that was so hard to do because like because it was the first one. We were like, we're gonna give it like fucking everything. I think it was like a 6 or 8 hour shoot or something, and like we were just going at it. I was hungover to fuck as well. Like by the end, I'd sweated out like all of the booze from the night before. In fact, the t-shirt I was wearing changed color, like because it had like a white line of salt from all the sweat. Basically, it was disgusting. I had to, because we had to do some reshoots, and I had to get another t-shirt from the company that gave me that t-shirt. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, and like all the slow-mo bits we have to do, like you have to do. You guys must have done videos and things where you have to do like the slow-mo thing. So in order for it to be slow-mo, you've got to like speed up the frame. So you've got to do everything faster so that when you slow it down, it makes sense. So
I see
like,
what you mean, but no.
Yeah, we had all the slow-mo stuff. You have to do 4 times faster. So like trying to mouth the words 4 times faster and run around, and it was awful. I hated it. I'm not like, oddly enough, I know people will be like, shut up, you fucking love it. I actually don't like being in videos. I hate it. My favorite Empire video is Hands and Tongues because we're not in it. And there's an amazing narrative to it. It's I think it's our best video.
I didn't find that one.
Hands and Tongues is
Hands and Tongues, yes.
Yeah,
sorry.
it's got the guy that looks like Patrick Bateman in it. It's like a total
he goes
nod.
mental.
Yeah, total nod to American Psycho. That is my favorite Empire video.
I did find that one. The one I loved was Sour Tastes.
Yeah, another one. Happy about that. Not in it.
You're not, but
I'll be honest. It's my least favorite video.
Why?
I had nothing to do with the treatment. And I when I was told what it was going to be, I was like, okay. And then I don't want to sit here and say it was shit, but it wasn't to my taste.
Okay, because
very diplomatic answer there.
Yeah,
that's good.
Personally,
Dave and Lesteve are in it, aren't they?
Dave and Lesteve are in it. It was their baby, really. They were like, we should do this, and like, because it was supposed. Are any of you a space fan? Or space fans? You know the scene, or you know the episode where they go out and they're doing all the air gunning when they meet that gang. That's what that video is based on.
Okay,
and I was like, amazing. It's an amazing concept, but the reason why it doesn't work for me is because unless you know that, it's just them running around in a field, like pretending to have a weird childlike war, but which is quite cute in a way. But it needed that kind of, it needed the sound effects so that we then would, I reckon if they'd have put the sound effects in as well, it would have just been even better. However, it is a wicked video and it had to get turned around in like a really short amount of time. So they did amazingly, considering they had to literally knock it up, I think, in like 3 days. So fair play to them. But I stand by it's not my favorite video. Sorry.
I mean, don't apologise. We had nothing to do with it. So,
well, I mean, I'm apologising to those that did. I think I don't want to offend anyone.
Dude, you're here. This is a free. You're free to whatever you like. This is the
you
whole
say
point.
that, but I'm still good friends with Lesteve, and I'm sure he'd be fine. He'll be fine. It's fine.
Yeah, Lesteve will be fine. Yeah, don't worry about it.
I haven't seen the rest for ages, though. I haven't seen Dave for a time, and I haven't seen Freddie for ages as well, unfortunately. But just because we all live so far away, so
yeah.
And obviously, it's illegal to, be friends with people anymore. So, so yeah.
But I bet playing festivals was fun though, mate. Downloads.
Yeah, that was. Oh man, Download was unreal. Sonosphere was like, what the fuck? Yeah, they were all the festivals were unreal. Like, and it was I think back at that time as to how many like underground festivals there were, like Takedown and like Fat Lip and all of those, like like the summer was awesome because most weekends you'd be in a different part of the country playing a show and then seeing a load of bands that you really like with a beer maybe.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, but Download was obviously like, because that was really the last, 2015 that was.
Yeah.
And that was like probably just nuts. Crazy. To be like, I can't believe I'm playing Download. Get to see Muse for free. Yeah. How good is that?
I was there that day and the tent was packed.
It was.
Yeah, I know. Because I was like, we didn't really do a great deal in 2015, as I say. So that was like the biggest thing we'd done that year. And so to get the response and to get people still kind of coming in and checking it out was like, especially because Mallory and Ox was on like at the same time. And this was like, they were like the biggest band, or they were one of the hypest bands that year. And then obviously became massive the following year. So yeah, we were real fortunate and very grateful that everyone came in. So thank you for coming and watching.
It was amazing. Like, so, and I remember because I watched the first 2 songs from that Mallory Knox, and I was like, "Shit, what's time? Run straight to the fucking tent to catch you guys."
Well, thank you, genuinely, man. Like, because I'd have gone and watched Mallory Knox myself, but just because they were well good. But yeah, it was just nuts. It's really weird. Like when you're there, you're kind of, I don't know. I don't think anyone thought it was like real. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really difficult. Like you want to try and grab all the moments and like breathe it in as much as you can as a memory, but at the same time you're also shitting yourself about like the set you got to play and whether like, you know, your skinny jeans are going to rip. First world problems.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, it was awesome. It was fucking awesome. So good. But yeah.
When you're at the like festivals and stuff like that, obviously you're backstage. I imagine being performing. Do you get to meet many other musicians you can talk to? Ask, I don't know, maybe ask for advice and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can do. Like the only like Sonosphere, we did that more so. Like we bumped into quite a few people at Sonosphere, like of the time more so. Like people got to heck, and I think the craziest one was like I was doing shots with the dudes from Carnival, which was like, what the fuck? Well, actually, the craziest one was I met Chino Marino from Deftones. That was like, what the fuck? But like, it seemed like there was a bit of a tier system. So like, you had all of like the proper bigwigs, because Metallica and Iron Maiden headlined the year we played. It was 14, it was, and like they were nowhere to be seen because they had their own like there was VIP, and then there was like the headliner VIP, and you had to have a special wristband in order to go and hang out with them.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to hang out with them, and even going and like I had to basically sneak. Did I sneak in? I think my wristband did allow me to go into where Deftones were because I got in there. But their bit was separate as well. But that was nuts. I had 2 missions that weekend because Limp Bizkit played as well. I was like, I wanted to meet Wes Borland and I had to meet Chino. Those are the 2. And I managed to do Chino. And I got to meet Abe Cunningham as well, which was fucking nuts because he's like a massive influence as a drummer. He gave me a punk IPA. I was like, oh my god. I took a photo with Chino, and it's the most cringeworthy photo of all time. I'm like, because obviously our friend Damo is a massive fan. We all know Damo Bachelor, and obviously like I sent it to him straight away just to put salt in the wound. And he was like, "Why the fuck did you make that face?" I was like, in hindsight, yes, why did I make that face? I could have gone for a much cooler vibe, but I was excited. It was exciting.
I get it. I've got the same issue. I met one of my favourite musicians and I fucking hate the photo because I look like a goddamn idiot because I'm literally like that. I'm the same like...
Why? Exactly. They need to know, and you need to be reminded of how excited you were on the day. And this face is the excitement on the day and forever, right? That's how I justify.
If it's not the case, we're going to justify it with that.
Exactly. Own it. We've got to own it, Jamie. We've got to own it.
It's amazing. So obviously, on the thing I was talking about, asking people for advice at festivals. Obviously, you did a few like support tours. Like I saw you supported Dave McPherson of In Me fame.
Yes.
Do you ever get to like speak to these guys about how they got where they got, and again, just advice and stuff like that?
Do you know? I don't know. No, we didn't really. Like, we should have done, because oddly enough, actually, we supported Dave McPherson, and we actually did an In Me tour as well, and we became good friends with him. And like, I don't know, but you kind of want to ask him and ask people of that ilk, like, so what's next? Like, what do you recommend? But then at the same time, like, you kind of just don't want to seem too fanboyish, and like, you want to try and seem like, you know, you think they're just normal, regular people, even though inside you're like, oh my God, I used to watch you on MTV2 all the fucking time, and I saw you on Gonzo, and now here you are smoking a spliff with me. Fucking hell. This is nuts. How did you do it? What was it like? So you want to, but I think you you kind of remind yourself that you shouldn't, maybe, until you get a bit drunk, and then you'll look for all the stories. But
that was such a good night. That was in Bristol. That was so good.
Just
so
like
many good
super
times.
tanked. Yeah. Well, he's a good egg. Oh, big DM. Hopefully, he's supposed to be doing some acoustic stuff again, isn't he? Like this year. So
meant to be, but whether we're allowed out.
Well, yeah, we were supposed to support him like this month, but obviously with everything being the way it is, like no gigs.
Thanks, COVID, mate. Cheers, son.
Yeah, just fucking it for everyone. But yeah, good times. Crazy good times.
Do you have any particular favourite memories that you can share from like touring and stuff like that around that?
Like quite a few. Yeah, they all involve booze though, and I don't.
That doesn't surprise me.
I know exactly. See, I'm not actually a pisshead. I only drink on the weekend. I actually do. It's like a Saturday thing. But yeah, like I mean, obviously downloading Sonosphere was amazing. Heavy was all good. Watching Finch side of stage was sick. Yeah, just I don't know. There's quite a few. It's mainly just, you know, it's more like traveling. One of the like my favorite memories is when we played in I think it was it Belgium, and like it was like 48 hours. So but the night before we left to go to Belgium, we played in Camden at the Barfly. Amazing. And yeah, so there was like a super late show, and we got to Dover at like 2 a.m, smashed out the show in London, drove to Dover. I don't drive, so like Lestev and Dave and Tupper had to split the drive-in from like driving to London to do the show, then driving to Dover, then us getting to Calais, isn't it, that you drove into? I was asleep the whole time. So and then we drove from France to the festival. We played Euroblast, so Belgium again. Did the festival, smashed it. Was like, oh my god, we're in Europe. And then we drove from there because the gig was on a Thursday. Then we drove from Belgium to Amsterdam. So that was pretty nuts. That was pretty crazy. Like we stayed up for essentially like 3 days.
Fucking
like, they did gigging and driving, and then you know we all drank a lot of coffee for the 2 nights we were in Amsterdam.
Was that just to get away for a bit?
Yeah, the guys wanted to go. I'd never been. I think David never been. And Tupper had, and Lestev had, and obviously, like, you know, they're big fans of the jazz cigarette. So
yeah, a bit of 420.
Yeah. So
Towers 420, boys.
it was a necessary, but it was a wicked weekend though. That was a great weekend.
That's fucking cool, man.
That's one of the fondest memories, I think.
So before we move on from Empire, I just want to know about Glue, the album Glue.
Yes.
And like the inspiration.
You're the only person that knows about this album. It feels like.
How am I the only person that it's
joking,
out there?
I'm joking. It is out there. I don't think that many people know about it.
Because My Party, My Rules and Sour Taste are just mwah! And The Colour of Shame. The Colour of Shame is
The Colour of Shame is the fucking banger. Yeah, I do love that song.
Love it. What an opener.
I know. It is a banger. What do you want to know about it then?
Well, just like what inspired you to write? Like, did you write it? What inspired you writing it? Like, just because obviously that was the last release you had before obviously everything fell apart.
Do you know what? It did. It just disintegrated. Do you know what? The craziest thing, a lot of the lyrics on that especially lyrically, because like musically, the boys were, I think, we'd spent ages fannying around with an album. I think that's one of the reasons why it took that was probably part of the problem. And we had written, I think, an album before the album.
Okay.
And so but there was a lot of kind of like, oh, we kind of wanted to do this, and should we be trying to do that? And eventually, what became Glue was just the boys just writing. It was like, just don't give a shit, stop caring, just write what you like. And that's how we ended up with the 10. But lyrically, most of that album is about me wanting to leave, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Apart from Colour of the Shame. Colour of the Shame is about I didn't even intend for it to be this way. I'd had an incident happen like the week before, where the police were involved, and like basically the only reason that the police were involved is because, like, you know.
Yeah, that did. Oh, that was my go-to, but
you feel me?
Yeah.
So like inadvertently, I ended up writing about it because I was just kind of like, I think the first line came out, and then it just kind of all just started coming out. So yeah, but most of that album, as I say, like Glue, the song Glue is genuinely about leaving. It was like about not wanting to be in the band anymore.
Wow, I was not expecting that answer at all.
Yeah, it was definitely near the end, I think, for me. As in, like, it was definitely coming towards the end.
Yeah.
By the time that album had come out.
What exactly, I don't know how much detail you could go into, but what exactly happened? Why did it all fall apart?
I think it wasn't just me that was feeling it was near the end. It turned out, like, the week, I remember it, like, I was thinking, I think I've definitely had enough now. And then, like, on the Monday, maybe, or the Tuesday, and, like, the next day, I got a phone call from the Stev and Dave, and they were like, yo, dude, hey, we want to talk to you. Yeah, we think it might be time to call it a day. And I was like, no way. Like, I've been thinking the same thing. That's so strange. But I think it just stopped being fun for everyone. And, like, it was, like, just too much work.
Yeah.
And, oh, shit. Let me just rip down this camera. But yeah, that's probably the main reason why everyone was just so, like, we were in kind of in unanimous vote to be like, if it stopped being fun, then we need to just call it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it, really.
I thought you were gonna...
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought you were going to say they listened to your lyrics and went, Joe, fuck off.
No. Like, we were fortunate enough to tour a bit of Glue. And every time that was one of the songs that we would play live, and every night they knew. I was like, this song is about not wanting to be in this band anymore. So they knew about it. I wasn't hiding anything. And again, we're all mates and stuff. Like, you know, it gets hard sometimes trying to, and it wasn't the people that I didn't like. I think it was just being in a band for a minute, or being in this band, that I was like, I'm kind of over this now. And there was a load of other stuff going on as well. Like, yeah, I'm not going to go into it because it's not my place. It's not just my place. But yeah, the synopsis of the whole thing is basically it stopped being fun.
I'm so sorry, man. That's so shit, especially with.
Oh no, it's cool. We had some real good times, and I didn't even realize, like, we started in like 13 and we ended in 18. So like that's 6 years. That's a long ass time.
Yeah.
And there were some amazing times. Exactly. Like, it's the closest I might ever get to making it, even though it's not about that. But, you know, I've seen what the next rung of the ladder looks like. And I've also seen what you have to do in order to stay at the next rung of the ladder. And if you want to keep progressing and stuff. And it's just like,
Yeah, you've basically got to have the shortest skirt, have massive tits, and
that will help you. That will help you. Although I don't think now it's probably that's probably not the way to go. You need to have, like, with how inclusive it all is. And
how many followers have you got? How many people follow you? Like, oh, fuck off. Yeah. Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing now? How influencer are you? I couldn't give a shit.
Exactly. That's not why I play music. I play music to play fucking music.
Yeah.
Like, if we're not playing, then what's the point in doing it? Like,
yeah, exactly, dude.
So yeah, but I mean, you know, we were playing. But anyway,
yeah,
it was a good time, and we're all still pals and friends.
That's good.
So yeah.
And the tunes you brought out are still fucking bangers.
Exactly. You can still get it on Spotify and all them things.
Oh, it's all in there, don't you worry.
So yeah. Go nostalgia.
I love it.
Obviously, now your current band is Deaf as a Girl, which you mentioned, and you released your EP Tales last year. Something good that happened in 2020. Shock.
I know, yeah, exactly. That. Should have said that.
I listened to it earlier, and 27.
Released the fucking EP. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Really enjoyed that one. What is it that makes Deaf is a Girl different to your previous projects?
Well, this one is like I did a Dave Grohl on this one, and like I played everything for the EP anyway, and like as a project initially anyway, it was like I just want to make an EP, just because I want to see if I could make an EP, but also I want to kind of do it 100% on my own terms. I'm not interested in like how it gets put out. And then DistroKid turned up, and it was like, oh, you can do it yourself, cool. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of create something really and make something. And initially it was all me, with the sole purpose of then forming a band, which is what's happened. So yeah, that I guess it's different in that respect, in that like, you know, I drove us here. it's my car. I'm driving.
That's awesome. I really like that though. You know, because if you said Empire wasn't fun for you anymore, you're in the driving seat. This is the Joe Green project as such. You know, like I'm gonna make this fun because then it doesn't go away.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, it is predominantly. It's just for fun, and like I realized that in order to be able to gig it, I'm gonna have to record it. So there was a period when I was like, oh, maybe I tried to work with people to get it, like, to make it what it became, what Tales is now. But it was just like, no, like, challenge yourself. Like, try and record it yourself. Like, why not play drums on it and bass and synth and keys and stuff? Why not? You know what you want to put on it and you know what it sounds like in your head. So why don't you challenge yourself to see if you can get it from out of here onto here? You know, so yeah, that's what I did. And again, I worked with Voss. I recorded it with Voss at his little studio, and yeah, it came out amazing. Like it cost fuck all as well, so which is always a win. Exactly. But yeah, I'm very proud of it. Very, very proud of it, to be honest.
That's
nice,
awesome.
man. We'll just breach on the quickly on the other band as well. Cupcake Diaz, the Felt Tip Pens.
CCDF2P.
Right name as well.
It is. Well, again, that's Vic. That was kind of because the Me's pretty much just like also just kind of stopped in 2012-ish. Oddly, around the time that Empire started. I don't know if there's a correlation there.
Yeah.
It's purely accidental. But yeah, oddly enough, he had come up with the name Cupcake Diaz and the Felt Depends whilst we were doing the Me's. And then him and his partner started writing and Cupcake Diaz was formed. And again, in that same way that we had a chemistry, like him and Voss had a chemistry, the first Cupcake rehearsal was just me, him and her being Laura Mitchell, sorry. And yeah, it was just this natural, I was going to say orgasmic then. That's not the word I want. Natural, organic.
Is that good? It is, I guess.
I mean, I was tingly, sure. Yeah, it was just really natural. And then obviously Voss came in because we all need him in our lives and in our music because he just makes it better. And it was, again, the chemistry was just straight away. But the two of them are incredible songwriters. Like, it's a 50-50 split. So she writes some stuff and he writes some stuff. And again, it's like they bring it to rehearsal and then we make the songs just then and there. It's awesome. I love that band greatly. It will do more, hopefully.
Nice.
In the new year. We're actually we're finishing off an EP that's taken like 3 years to make. We started it like 3 years ago. And like with everything that's gone on, and just the fact that we're all really fucking lazy. I say I did my bit like 3 years ago. Man's is good, you get me? Man's is good. I've laid my bits down, yeah? Sorry, every now and again, just pack them just wrong. But yeah, so it is coming. So yeah, Cupcake Diaz, go check them out.
Oh, I saw you live. You
did. Well, come see us again, please.
Joe, you know I'll always be there, mate. You know I'll always.
You haven't seen Deaf as a Girl yet, though, have you?
I haven't. But I lost count of how many times I saw Empire.
That's fine. You've got backup points. You've got yeah, Money in the Bank.
Yeah, thank you. And obviously I played a Divine Secret. So.
You did. I mean, that's the money maker right there.
That was a good night. That was a really good night. But yeah, I'll put my hands up. I've not listened to Death as a Girl yet either. I'm so sorry. But as soon as this interview is over,
how do we get him off schedule? Tom Stevens is now dead to me. No, he's not. You will. You should. Jamie will tell you it's not shit.
It's not. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Jamie, for checking out Death is a Girl.
I'm so sorry, Joe.
I've known you longer as well.
I know. I'm so
sorry.
I mean, Joe, terrible. Please. Joe,
it's fine. It's fine, mate. It's fine. You've still got time. It's also all over Spotify and Apple and Tidal and all that.
That's my evening sorted. So
all them shit things.
Now, Joe, you are now yourself a wee little podcaster.
I know. Yeah, this is what happens when you're forced to stay in all the time. Your mates are like, let's chat on Zoom. Now.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Yeah, which is grand. Yeah, Damo Bachelor, the little genius that he is, kind of messaged me a couple of months ago. I can't believe it's already been a couple of months. Was like, I'm thinking, I've got an idea. I need to ring you. It's my Damo impression, apparently.
That's nice. I like
really
it.
Good, really good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty apt.
Yeah, where'd you get here?
Yeah, too much hair. Far too much hair. Come on. Yeah, so he was like, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. Do you want to do it with me? And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Because I was thinking about, like, it would be cool to just chat with mates about music, like musical mates about music. So I was well keen. And then we've just kind of just done it, really. Like, it's all fallen into place. Obviously, you guys have helped greatly. So thank you for your input and your wisdom. The Qui-Gons to our Obi-Wans. Yeah, but it's been really good. We had James and Steve on for the first one. He was fun. We just spoke to Clive Bremner, aka DJ Jinx. He was awesome. Today, that Chris Evans from Either Lion has just come out. We've spoken to Charlie Baxter as well, so that's coming, which will be fun, which was good. It was a real good fun talking to him. And then the most recent one we just recorded was with Karen Cooper, who plays for a band called Hyperfora. And I'm just going to let you all know now, so it's no surprise when you're like, man's a proper fanboying though, all my days. Because I was proper fanboying. I know Karen anyway, but I'm just in awe of him and just like, he's so amazing. Like, we've got loads in common as well. So and loads of the same musical tastes and stuff. So yeah, look out for that. Joe Green fanboying over Karen Cooper.
I'm excited to hear it.
On podcast.
Don't worry. Yeah. A certain one of us has already fanboyed over a podcast before. Don't worry. It's fine.
Really? Who was it? Which one?
Braden
Is that
Barry.
What happens?
Yeah.
Who?
Braden Barry.
Who's that?
Say We Can Fly.
Oh.
Emo acoustic singer.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Not Tom Stave. You didn't...
That was also another one, but that was like our first big interview that we did.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. He was so funny.
He is hilarious.
Just
he is.
Just from start straight through, absolute, just hilarious.
I love that guy. I just couldn't believe that he existed. But that's the thing with the beautiful thing about podcasts is you talk to people you never ever thought you would ever speak to. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, how did that kind of come about? Was it just... You asked him?
I'm friends with him on Facebook because I went to see him live in 2017 and we had a photo together and he was like, oh, tag me, man. He's like, so he was like, oh, yeah, add me, I'll accept you. So I did. And I tagged him in the photo and then literally I went, worth a DM, I think. Worth a DM, I think. So I was
absolutely.
Like, hi, Tom, do you want to do this? He was like, yeah, man, absolutely. Like, is it all right if I bring my son? I was like, yeah. Which obviously didn't happen in the end.
No.
But yeah, the weirdest thing in the world though is on the day of the show, is waking up to a phone call off him is the weirdest thing ever.
I can imagine.
Forgot about that.
Like,
that's just the strangest. Hey Tom,
hey,
I can't word this Skype shit out.
How do you word this Skype shit, man?
But
he's just hilarious, though. He's just such a funny dude.
But thank you for
because
checking
like
out.
he just seems that's his way, isn't it? That's just how he is. Just a funny dude all the time.
Yeah, I'd love to live with him.
There's no character there. It's just like, no, this is what I'm like. Like, cool. I can get down on that. So yeah, but we've got plans as well. You guys are coming on. I don't know if it's an exclusive, but yeah, there's a plan for there's a plan.
Yeah,
so we'll be doing this again.
I'm looking forward to it, mate.
It's going to be sick. I cannot wait. I think there's talk about having a few bevs in it as well. So.
Is there?
So, yeah, I think we're going to try and do it on a night that we would be outside socializing. I think. I'm not sure. It's still like minority reporting it. So yeah,
I suppose we've mentioned this podcast, but because we know what it is because anything, but we've not actually told people what it is. The people who are listening to this.
Yeah, sorry, I'm really good at this promo thing. It's called the Gatefold Gateway. Or is it Gateways? I think it's
Gateway.
Gatefold Gateway.
Yeah, I ain't come up with the name. Yeah, but it's called Gatefold Gateway, and it is available, I think, on all of the podcasting things that you can podcast on.
It is.
It's a wonderful concept, though. Just sit down musicians and talk about their favourite music. What?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a tried and tested method, but it's awesome. Like it's never ever the same, and like as you say, we just talk about albums, and yeah, some of the albums that have come up, it's just been like, oh my god, and yeah, you end up kind of like throwing back and reminiscing about the time, and
I love it when that happens.
It's awesome.
There's just forget about a band or about album, you're like, oh my fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, literally,
straight on.
Literally, but also like learning as well. Like I've kind of discovered some, like you end up discovering, because obviously people have got their recommendations as well.
Yeah.
Which is one of the questions that we asked. So like, yeah, I've been like kind of tuning into like Daughters and like Destat as well, like all these bands and artists, whatever, that people have been like, oh, well, I'm currently checking out. So we end up checking them out as well. So it's wicked. Like the library's growing.
Nice.
It's good. So yeah, check out Gatefold Gateways.
Definitely do. But I don't know about anyone else, but whenever I listen to it, when I'm walking, listen to it, I'm thinking what my answers would be to that question.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's cerebral, man. It's like Radiohead.
So what's next for you then? What is planned?
I don't know. I have no idea. Is the honest answer. In terms of like band stuff, obviously I want to gig the shit out of Death as a Girl. I want to take that out on tours at some point. I'm trying to write an album at the moment for that, which will be fun. Yeah. I'm supposed to be doing a few collabs, some like with Karen Cooper, aka Webman. I'm supposed to be jumping on a track with him. I've agreed to go and do some stuff with Joe Dark as well from Soul Method, so we should be hopefully making some music together soon, which would be cool. Basically everyone I've mentioned this evening, I think I'm supposed to be doing something musical with. So Alex Voss has got some tracks coming out hopefully soon that we're going to be recording. As I said, there's a Cupcake Diaz and the Fucked Up Pens EP that needs to be finished off. Just music, man. Pure music all the time. And obviously some more podcasts as well. I think we're I don't know, we're up to episode 7, I think, now that we've recorded. That's
amazing.
And then there's going to be a few more of them. I want to get to 20, basically, and then let people have them. And then maybe go and do season 2 perhaps of that, but change it up. So instead of it being like with music people or just music people, open it up to like photographers and tattoo artists and
that sounds like a genius idea.
Different folk. Yeah, so there's stuff going on. What are you guys up to? Wagwan.
We've this interview is not going to be out for like a month yet, but so we've got interviews coming up. We're on other shows this week. We're on 2 other shows this week.
Who are you on?
We're on the Brewgooders podcast on Thursday evening, 8 p.m. No one's going to have seen it by then. This time this goes out because it would have been a month ago.
Well, Okay.
This is very true. Yeah.
It's a comics and beer podcast. We're talking about comics and beer. So
Nice.
the comics side, no fucking clue, but beer side, I'm in.
Indeed.
So we got to take our own weird beer to drink and chat about and stuff. So it's gonna be fun.
So do you have to have a recommendation type thing?
Yes.
What do you know what you're bringing?
I'm going to take blueberry waffle beer. It's
okay.
Delicious. It's a stout.
Who's that by?
Vocation.
What do they do normally? I recognize that name. What's their like flagship one? If they ever do they sometimes? Can you find one of their bevs in?
It's just in Tesco and stuff like that. So okay. I don't know if you find this. I don't really know. I'm not really a pub manager. I might have to ask Damon that question.
We'll text him.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Blue waffle, lad. Blue waffle.
But yeah, we've got podcasts coming up. We've got loads of interviews coming up. More shows to do. So we're busy with this show at the moment. So
yes, that's good.
Which is really good. So other than that, mate, waiting to come back to work.
Jamie, are you working at the moment? Or are you...
I am. I work in a hospital, so I'm there already.
You're on the front line.
I am, Mr. Front.
Have you had your vaccination then?
I have.
How are you feeling?
Apart from the third nipple and a little bit of lactation, I'm good.
Haven't got Bell's palsy then?
Not yet.
No. How long? Man, that's my biggest fear at the moment. And I tried to explain this to some dickheads at work, and they're like, "You're a fucking conspiracist." I'm like, I'm not saying it'll definitely happen. I'm just saying it is a concern of mine. Fuck's sake.
I did read a story today that apparently someone in America said it turns you gay. A rabbi said it turns you gay.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then someone put, "What if I'm already gay?"
Is it? It makes you go the other way. The crab. It's like if you feed a crab alcohol, it walks straight. Is it like that?
So yeah.
It's a terrible Ricky Gervais joke.
Okay.
But, yeah, I won't. But yeah, exactly as I said it. So,
Wonderful.
But genuinely, how long has it been since you've had the vaccination?
About a week. Yeah, about a week.
Do you know which one you had?
Pfizer.
I see. It's cool.
It's all good.
Yeah. What would you say to anyone who's kind of like, "Oh, I don't know." Oh.
Fucking do it.
There it is.
Yeah, I see people all day, every day. Just fucking do it so we can get this shit gone, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
But anyway.
Well, I'll be watching you intently on Facebook to see if there's any psychotic episodes or, or...
That might not be the virus, to be fair. There could be anything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how will we know the difference? Like, what we need a tell? Or like a...
I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. I don't know what the tell will be.
Okay.
Just listen to this podcast, it'd be like, "Hi guys, I'm by myself today because Jamie decided to go.
It's been arrested."
Yeah, he's gone to London, skinny dip in the Thames for no reason whatsoever, and he's going to live underwater now. So
something about gills and a new fishtail. I only caught half a message.
I mean, he watched The Shape of Water, and that was him sorted. That was his new life.
He's in love with this beautiful French girl. Great hair, beautiful lips.
Loves eggs.
Yeah. See, if that's all it is, if that's all the side effects are, that's fine. I can take that.
Absolutely fine by me.
Wonderful.
That's good stuff.
Right. Tom, before we get into our little game, have you got any more questions?
No, I just want to say, Joe, thank you, man. Thank you so much.
No worries, man. Thank you. No, thank you. Genuinely, thank you so much for asking me. Yeah, I hope it's
been great fun.
Absolutely loved it. So much fun.
Broadcastable. Yeah, no, it has. It's been a good laugh.
Right. Before we get out of it, with all of our guests, we play a little game. It's called the Quick Fire Round. 6 questions. You answer them as quick as possible. Nice and simple.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Number 1.
Question 1. Oh.
Favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
First ever concert?
4 Foot Fingers.
Oh, nice.
No joke. Yeah.
Favorite Power Ranger?
Green Ranger.
Yes. Who would play you in the movie of your life?
Denzel Washington, obviously. The only real famous black.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've had 2 black people on this show. Both of them said Denzel.
Of course, because then everyone will go and see it. He crosses over. He's our safe bet. I'd have his son. I'd have John Washington. Is it John Washington?
I have no idea.
The young Denzel. No, I'd have Denzel. Although I don't understand this. The Denzel face. I can't have any of that. I've got quite full lips, so I need him to just have a strong jaw. So maybe not Denzel, but initially, I'm going to stick with it. Denzel, go! Carry on. Sorry.
What would be your death row final meal?
Ooh, probably lasagna. Big lasagna fan.
How unsure of yourself you are with that.
Not steak, not fucking lobster.
Yeah.
Lasagna, mate. Lasagna. No chips or salad, just straight lasagna. Maybe some garlic bread, actually. Lasagna and garlic bread.
To be fair, I said spag bowl, so... Yeah.
Strong. Yeah, anything Italian. Strong Italian meal.
And finally, if you were to give a piece of advice to young Joe Green, what would you tell them?
Just delete a number. No. I don't know. I would. Well, just keep smiling.
I like that. No, it's nice. I like that.
Stick with it is what I would say. Stick with it. That would be what I'd say. Stick with it. Yeah. Just life in general. Stick with it. Nothing specific in your life at that point. Just stick with all of it. Just stick with it. Hang in there, kid.
Joe, this has been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for doing this.
Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for wanting to chat to me and making me feel somewhat important. That's very kind. Thank you. And Tom, go check out Death as a Girl, you fucker.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. No, seriously, we knew this would be a lot of fun. We knew we'd have a right laugh, and we have.
Well, good. I'm glad. I hope it makes sense. I haven't waffled too much.
No, that's the point, though. That's the whole point of why we do this. It's because we want the guests to waffle on. That's the point.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad. Well, then I've been bob on then.
But you have. But before you get out of here,
yes,
plug any social media that you'd like to and your podcast.
Obviously I have to plug. I think it's at Gatefold Gateways. Or Gatefold. I can't even fucking say it.
Gatefold Gateway.
That. Also, you need to come follow Death as a Girl at Death as a Girl 87. Death as a Girl 187 for a Twitter or a twat. Just so I did. And obviously, if you really want to hear like all of the crazy tunes we've done made, then go and check it out on all of the social, like Spotify and Ting. Yeah, that. But for both podcast and Death as a Girl, and also check out Cupcake Diaz as well. But more so Death as a Girl.
Done. No worries at all, Joe. Mate,
no shame.
It's been incredible, and best of luck with everything with Death as a Girl, because
thank you very
the talent and the potential is there to just fucking take it to the moon, man.
Well, yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for having me, and keep up the good work with these bloody podcasts.
I thought you were going to say keep on trucking then. Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. No, keep up the good work. Keep up quality A-grade material.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much
for
coming
on.
No
worries. Thank you.
It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Take care, my friend.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.